Most organizations are trying to reduce the total amount of procedures and policies they have because they've found that few people understand them and they're hard to read. I recommend organizations switch to a more visual approach using flowcharts to define their processes. In fact, ISO 9001 in the section 0.3, part of the introduction, introduces the process approach and encourages organizations to use it. In a process, you define the sources of the inputs, the process itself, outputs, and the receivers of the outputs, as well as any goals or measurables. Today we'll be using a free tool called draw.io. You can download it from the web at draw.io. From the file menu, you can import a company logo image file. We'll make a nice 5-point line using the general toolbar line tool just to give us a nice header. Using the text tool and increasing the font size to 24, go ahead and give your flowchart a title. Today we'll be mapping in a fictitious receiving inspection process. And you'll see that there's little alignment grids that help you align squares and various shapes to make them even, those blue lines. We've created a revision. Now we're going over to the list shape. We're going to hold the control key and drag and drop will clone the shape. And you want to create 5 shapes. The first one, we're going to create a nice header. We'll make it bold and increase the font size a bit. And this will be our sources of inputs, following the ISO 9001 recommendations. Continuing on with the other 4 list boxes. Give them nice headers. Okay, now from the General Tool tab, we're going to start dragging our shapes. I like to use circles as a start and end point, general rectangles for the various process steps, and decision diamonds for inspection points. Click on the shape and begin typing to add the labels. Again, your text toolbar is on the right if you'd like to change the font or size. For each process step, I recommend indicating who owns it, in this case the receiving clerk, and we went ahead and put a bold font with a standout color just to emphasize the step owner. To clone the shape and maintain your formatting, just click the shape and hold down the control key and drag and release your mouse. Now for an outside process or a linked process such as our non-conforming process, go ahead and select the process shape from the general toolbar. And here you can just reference another flowchart in a different document or a policy or procedure. In this case, we're calling it FC870, which is our fictitious non-conforming outputs process. You want to align the shapes in a general order. We'll go ahead and add some style to our 2 inspection points. We're going to increase the border thickness and change the color to orange. We'll apply some formatting to the start and end with a green shade under the Style tab. And next we'll want to add orthogonal lines, which is the second choice. You're going to hover over the shape and you'll see a green circle appear. Drag the arrow until you see another green circle on the next shape and then release. Continue this for all your shapes. Adjust the shapes to get the lines nice and straight. To add a line label, simply click on the line and begin to type. Here we have our doc to stock and our not doc to stock process flow path. I'm adding the labels for a reject scenario and an acceptance. The acceptance is a little tight, so let's spread it out, give it a little space, makes it easier to read. To begin adding items to the list, just click on the row and type. Here we're listing out our sources of inputs. Who provides the inputs? To add a new row, simply hold down Control and hit Enter, and it will clone whichever row is selected. Again, just hold down Control and Enter after selecting a row, and it will insert rows below that row. Okay, adjusting our view just to see everything on one page. Now filling out our objectives, monitors, and measures. Since receiving inspection in this case is not a key process, we entered none for the process objectives. For measures and monitors, we'll have a few in the list here. Adjusting the view to fit window, we see our flowchart. Let's hold the Control key down and select each of our four list boxes. We'll add a little style with a blue shade, and we'll add a yellow shade by selecting our list box for the objectives. Centering it among the page, and our flowchart is done. When you're ready to save, simply choose the red bar and you can save the file locally, an editable file, and then I would recommend you go to File, Export as PDF, and you'll want to save a PDF version, which is what you maintain on your shared network for your users. That concludes this tutorial. I hope you find it useful. Thank you.